think about it for a second. How does a game remember your high score? Or when you log into an app and it says, "Hey, welcome back," how does it know your name? There's no magic here. The answer to all of these questions is one simple but really powerful idea. And that idea is the variable. Honestly, the best way to think about a variable is just like this. It's a container. It's a little box that you can put a piece of information into, slap a label on it, and then come back and get that information whenever you need it. That's it. That's how code stores and manages data.
So, how do we make one of these containers? You might be picturing some kind of complex, scary-looking command, but in Python, it's actually, well, it's wonderfully straightforward.
This is one of the first things that makes people just fall in love with Python. You don't have to do some formal ceremony to declare a variable. Nope. The moment you decide to put something into a container, that container just, poof, springs into existence. It's that easy. Okay, let's look at our very first piece of code. See this? X equals 5. So what did we just do? Well, we created a container, we put the label X on it, and then we put the number 5 inside. And boom, you've officially created your very first variable. How cool is that? And these containers aren't just for numbers. Here we've got Y equals John. It's the exact same idea. We made a new box, we labeled it Y, but this time we stored a piece of text inside. In the coding world, we call that a string. So you can see these containers can hold all sorts of different information. All right, now we're gonna get to what I like to call Python's superpower. It's all about how flexible these variables are, and this feature makes it so friendly for beginners. Now get this, because this is really cool. In a lot of other programming languages, if you make a box that's meant for numbers, it can only ever hold numbers. That's the rule. But Python's different. It's way more relaxed. So let's go back to our container X. Right now, as you can see, we've put the number 4 in it. At this very moment, Python knows that X is holding a whole number, what's called an integer. And here is where the magic happens. With this very next line of code, we take the exact same container, X, and now we put the text Sally inside. And you know what? Python doesn't complain, it doesn't throw an error, it just does it. This is a concept called dynamic typing, and it's a huge reason why Python is so easy to just hit the ground running with. Now, all that flexibility is awesome, but sometimes you need to be the boss. You need to be more precise. So let's look at how you can take control and tell Python exactly what to do. This whole process is called casting. Think of it like you, the programmer, stepping in and saying, "Hey Python, I know you're super flexible, and I appreciate that, but right now I need you to treat this data in a very specific way." So here's how it works. If you use stir of 3, you're taking the number 3 and churning it into the text character 3. You can't do math with it anymore. Use int of 3, and you're making sure it's a whole number. And if you use float of 3, you turn it into a decimal number, 3.0. This is you taking direct command of your data. And hey, if you ever lose track of what you put in one of your containers, no big deal. You can just ask Python. If you use the type function, you can peek inside any variable, and Python will tell you exactly what kind of data is in there at that moment. It's kind of like checking the label on a storage box you packed a year ago. Okay, just a couple more things to wrap up. Let's call these the rules of the road for naming your variables. Trust me, getting these right will save you a ton of headaches later. First up, you're gonna see code that uses double quotes for text and other code that uses single quotes. Don't let it confuse you. To Python, it's all the same. It doesn't care one bit. It's just a matter of style, so use whichever one you like. Now this one is super important. Variable names are case sensitive. That means a lowercase a and a capital A are not the same thing. They're two totally different, completely separate containers. Forgetting this is probably one of the most common mistakes new coders make. So let's do a quick recap. What are the big takeaways here? Number 1, variables are just containers for your data. 2, you make them just by giving them a value. 3, Python is super flexible with what you put in them. 4, you can take control with casting. And 5, and don't forget this one, names are case sensitive. And really, that's the core of it. You now have the fundamental tool to store any piece of information you can think of. A player's name, a high score, a user's favorite color, anything. The power to make a program remember is officially in your hands now. So the only real question left is, what will you create first?